Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode, Big Coffee's Outdoors Magazine. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. Guys, this week we want to go over a few tips, let you guys know the things that Big Coffee is doing to get bit here during the springtime, guys, but to also prepare you for the up and coming season, guys. We're talking about the season that have a lot of these fish offshore. I think we all know what that's talking about, getting into that summer bite. It's definitely going to be a transition process. Not all fish are going to be out deep. Not all fish are going to remain shallow, but it's just to give you kind of that transition period, let you know what they will be doing to gather more bites in the spring for yourself. You guys stay tuned. Big Coffee's Outdoors Magazine. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, let's go. Ducket and favorite rods this year in honor of some of the great anglers we know that have done this thing the right way and educated us within this sport. We're talking about the Jacob Wheelers of the world, the Timmy Hortons, talking about Mark Daniels Jr., Brian Latimer. We're talking about the GOAT, Andy Morgan, guys like that, guys. I really look up to those guys, do appreciate all of their efforts for trying to bring this sport to us on a whole nother level, trying to let us know, educating us on the products and the things that have come out to give us more success on the water. So that is why I, Big Coffee, use both favorite and Ducket rods. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get right into it. This is the Ducket Insight series. I'm going to throw a lot of my bladed jigs on that. Got it paired there with that Lose. That's that Hyper Mag. That's the 7.5 to 1 ratio on the spinning setup, guys. We've got the Lose Custom Pro. This is the 7.2 Jacob Wheeler here, guys. This is the Ducket Jacob Wheeler series. And I always throw my shaky heads on this, guys. When I'm in that stuff, that gunk, that stuff that I want to pull that fish up out of there, make sure he gets up out of there, this is the rod I'm going with. You could also drop shot and stuff on it, but I also find that there's a much lighter tip there on the regular 7-foot from Jacob Wheeler. Let me get that one out. Cranking setup, guys, throwing that Profound Outdoors, that Z-Ball series. I will be changing this reel out, however, on this particular setup here. I'm going to try to find another 6-speed reel just to replace this one. It's a great reel, but she has definitely served her time. Caught some super giants for my baby boy, Catch for Bean Boy, for those of you that are not familiar with the hashtag. But yeah, guys, this is the 7.6 cranking series. They're in the Insight Ducket. All right, guys, so the next one we want to get into, we've got the Ducket Silverado 610. Guys, you see me doing a ton of jerkbait fishing during the off season as well as during the season, guys. Just trying to get ready, figure out what these bass are going to bite. So you guys have seen me use this jerkbait rod quite a bit. It's a largemouth. And frankly, let's just say that this is a perfect jerkbait rod. Won't break the bank at all by paying this. I believe it's like a $99 retail. But guys, great rod for the applications. I also throw some medium size square bills on this or crankbaits, and it works just fine, guys. So if you have not picked up one of these guys, go give these guys a try. Not sponsored by Ducket or anything like that, but like I said, for those of you to know what Big Coffee is going through and the individuals who have been a blessing to the sport of bass fishing, favorite rods, Ducket fishing, guys. Let's just say some of the best rods out there, in my opinion. Not only the best rod, they have some of the best anglers there is in the sport, guys. We're talking about the Timmy Hortons of the world, Jacob Wheelers. As far as favorite go, we're talking about Brian Latimer, MDJ, and the GOAT, Andy Morgan, guys. Guys like that, guys, their favorite rod. Big Coffee's looking to do a lot more power fishing this year as well, and I'm going to incorporate favorite into the equation to get more catches for my baby boy, Catches for Bean. Hashtag Catch for Bean. For those of you that are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into another rod. All right, guys, next up is my jig rod, guys. My jig rod that we have been just slaying bass left and right on, guys. We're talking about the Ducket Insight series, 7.3 medium heavy, guys. That's it. Everybody's saying, Big Coffee, that must be a heavy edition rod you're throwing and grabbing up all those bass on. Not at all. It's a 7.3 medium heavy, guys. And this has been my jig rod, my go-to. I've been knocking them in the head left and right on the jig. Got the Pro TI from Lose set up on that, guys. Awesome drag system on the reel, very light. In fact, this whole application, as far as the jig rod goes, is very light. I try my best to keep a lot of bottom contact with my jigs, guys, whether I'm fishing a football jig, the finesse jigs even, all the way to your breast jigs, guys. Just want to make sure I'm keeping some form of bottom contact. I'll do a few hops occasionally, but that dragging system and just staying in contact with the bottom at times has been the key to my success as far as jig fishing is concerned. And of course, you know, I've been fishing that Cross'em as a trailer, guys. That Cross'em from Profound Outdoors, guys, just been a blessing and a half as far as my success goes on the 2021 season as well as past seasons, guys. That Cross'em has just been fire for BiggCoffee. So that's what I've been using as far as my jigs. This is the Duckett Insight Series 7.3 medium heavy. You guys go check it out. Go grab you one. Let's try out another rod. All right, guys, so this one is kind of new to the family. This is also a Duckett Insight, guys, but this is going to be your 7 cranking, guys. This isn't a medium heavy. It's actually a little lighter than a medium heavy. It's a fairly light tip through there. It's definitely parabolic, guys. That parabolic bend is on this rod when you're cranking, guys, and I'm talking about from your shallow runners to mid-level running crankbaits. This is definitely the deal. I have it paired with the BB1, not the Pro, just the regular BB1. I like those long distance casts, guys, but most of all, I want it to be light. If you're going to keep a cranking rod in your hand paired with any kind of reel, you need the application all across the board to be light so you can stay on the water a little longer. So that is my setup for cranking. Of course, you know, we got that Profound there. Absolutely. Let's get into another rod. All right, guys, and everybody's been asking, BiggCoffee, what did you catch that 10-pounder on out there at Jordan? Well, I'm going to give you the exact setup, guys, exactly how it all went down. This is the Jacob Wheeler. This is the Duckett Series, Jacob Wheeler, Signature Series rod. Did I say that right? Signature Series, can't even say it right. Signature Series rod from Jacob Wheeler. You guys excuse the tongue twisting from BiggCoffee. 7.2 medium heavy action, guys. And you would think a 7.2, how does that kind of differ from your jig rod? Well, to be honest, they're very close in action. They're very close in action, even though I would give this rod here a lot more stiffness through the rod than the 7 heavy. And that sounds kind of weird. A longer rod, you would expect that to be a lot stiffer, being a heavy as far as the frogging is concerned. But the 7.2, guys, this thing is just, it's a beast. I mean, you can do some of everything with it, from the flipping to all of it, guys. I'm talking about, if you wanted to, you could probably call this the all-around rod in the series, where you could top water with it, you could crank with it, you could do whatever it is you want to do. But flipping and throwing jig heads on these guys has definitely been BiggCoffee's go-to. I've got that owner hook on there, guys, that shaky head owner hook. And this isn't the exact crawl that we caught the 10 on, but of course you guys know the Cross'em has been very special to BiggCoffee, so we've been throwing a lot of Cross'ems from Profound Outdoors. For some reason, guys, and I know people are going to say, man, well, you know, you can fish any kind of crawl that you want. Cross'em has been doing it for BiggCoffee. When it comes to finding bigger bass, I don't know what it is about it, but the bait is just special. And ever since I've really been catching for my bean boy, this crawl has been the #1 plastic for me. I've been catching a ton on the Ringo, which we'll get into in a few, on the clone Ringo, but that Cross'em, guys, has definitely been a blessing. BiggCoffee is also using the Lose Custom Pro. With this one, guys, this is a 7.5 to 1 ratio, great ratio to, you know, do all those applications with that you need to on this particular setup, this particular rod. But yeah, that's what we've been using. We got it on that 15-pound Seaguar. This is the InvizX, guys. I would recommend, InvizX is great if you're going to continue doing anything through Seaguar. InvizX is great, but what has been a game changer for me, I would have to say the AbrazeX, and getting into newly found, guys, I must say the Tatsu is big time. Like, it is definitely big time. I'm sorry, the Tatsu is actually what you guys are going to see on one of my other flipping reels that I have, that it's actually favorite. One of the favorite rods that I'm using right now for power fishing. But this is what caught the 10-pound bass Jordan Lake this year, guys. So yeah, get out and find you one. Let's get into another reel. All right, guys, I told you guys before that if you don't know by now, BiggCoffee, that's why you see both the hooks there. BiggCoffee has kind of merged the two companies together for me, Favorite and Duckett, just because of the individuals that inspire me to continue going forth in this sport, guys, and continue to use this sport as an outlet to everything going on around us right now. And fishing is definitely one of those things. So without any further ado, guys, that Pro Series, she is so gorgeous. From Favorite, shout out to my boy T Stoney. He knows what I'm talking about. Pro Series from Favorite, guys. This is a 7.6 heavy, guys. So this 7.6 heavy, BiggCoffee is using it to, as you see there, I'm flipping with it. I've got a 40-pound braid on here to what I was going to tell you guys about. This is the 20-pound Tatsu, that leader, guys. Something about having that stronger leader when flipping in there. Just want to make sure whatever cover I'm flipping into, I'm bringing that fish out. I also want to make sure when I make contact with that fish, I'm still able to bring that fish out. And I've got it on the winch, guys. The winch, that's right. So we've got it on the Hyper Mag there from Lew's. This is the 7, I'm sorry, not 7. This is the 8-3 to 1 ratio, guys. There from Lew's, guys. So I love this entire setup. A lot of power in this, and it's still fairly light, guys. Nothing too heavy in BiggCoffee's hands right now trying to land these fish, but this is definitely my power winch on the year. So those of you that haven't checked out Favorite, check out Favorite, and Mark Daniels Jr. as well as Andy Morgan will be having some rods coming out a little later on this year. We're expecting those to be great rods, as we know they're great anglers, and they will be their signature series rod. So whenever they drop, we'll make sure to look into purchasing that as well. We got another one. Y'all stay tuned. All right, guys. So we have, this is my wacky setup. This is where I throw a lot of my wacky rig stuff on, guys. So this is my spinning rod, spinning setup. Duckett. This is the Wheeler edition of Duckett fishing, guys. This is your 7-foot medium. This is where the drop shot is going to come into play. This is your wacky rig setup. This is everything that you want to fish light and be as extremely finessey as you can be, from your Ned rigs to a lot of those drop shots, going from different various weights, guys. This is going to be where the sensitivity is lying, what BiggCoffee is using during this season for yeah, gonna have to finesse. So for those of you who are willing to check out Duckett fishing, checking out the spinning gear, guys, this has been a game changer for BiggCoffee. I'm allowed to do a lot of things with this particular setup, guys. We can winch in a lot of those fish at times. We don't necessarily have to horse them in. We can kind of finesse them, but it has the backbone to do some of all of that. So if you're running out of time, running out of room to horse that fish in or to get that fish in, this rod has the backbone. It has the capability to landing those fish and definitely keeping you on the water longer with a lighter blank such as this, guys. And I've got it paired here with the SS Lew's Speed Spin, guys. So this is a great reel, guys. As you can hear that drag system going off on there, guys, great drag on it. Make sure you keep all of your reels lubricated properly, I shall say, throughout the year, so that there's no hiccups in the line. You see a lot of guys doing this as they're fighting fish. Let me tell you, that may be one guy's thing, but that is not always the case, guys. A lot of the times doing that, you give that fish that free roam at times, just that little bit of window to get off. You don't want to do that. You want to just make sure your gear is lined up the way it's supposed to be so that that fish can have that free roam. You don't have to rush your hand out there. You can do whatever it is it needs to do and still win as far as that fight goes with that fish. Let's get into another reel and rod. 7.3 heavy, BiggCoffee's frog rod setup. Got it there on the Smash from Lew's. 7.5 to 1 reel ratio, guys. I'm gonna tell you about this rod. This is probably one of the lightest heavies I've ever used. What I mean is, this rod, not only is it super light, it's light on the hook set as well, but you actually need that at times to really get those hooks to penetrate the fish's mouth without letting the fish know you're there. A lot of these heavy rods, and I'm not just saying this because Jacob said this, I've studied this myself with this rod to make sure it was going to be the right rod for me throwing a frog. So basically, guys, We're talking about anywhere from working that bait all the way off the bank, all the way back to you. There's no stiffness in it, guys. The bait has free roam. And when that fish actually sucks that bait down, that second that you need, or that 2-second pause, whatever it is that you want to do, this rod allows you to do that without letting the fish know that you're there, that there's something there's another tension that's there, that's allowing that tug of war to happen. This tip on this rod is so light, it's so sensitive, and there's plenty of parabolic bend there to get that hook penetrated through that fish, the upper part of that fish's mouth, guys, that every time they inhale that bait, you should never miss these fish, guys. I'm talking about my hookup ratio so far with this. I'm not gonna lie, I gotta be right on target with the hookup ratio. I would say it's a little over 70, maybe 80-ish% of hookups. That's actually pretty decent with a frog. A lot of fish are missed on a frog. I very seldomly miss a frog fish with this rod. I must say it has been a game changer for me. I don't plan on putting this down anytime soon. So you guys check out the 7.3 Heavy Edition, the Jacob Wheeler series from Duckett. Awesome stuff, guys. One more rod. Let's get into another. Actually, let's not get into another one. Let me also tell you guys, this is also my swim jig rod. I throw my swim jigs and frogs 30 to 40 pound braided line, unless I'm really getting into some super thick stuff, or I've made a long cast and trying to pull that fish up out of some extreme vegetation. But this is mostly my frog and swim jig rod. I should have said that earlier. But great swim jig rod, as you guys will see in the video clips that are playing. Swim jig rod wise, guys, this rod is phenomenal. I'm talking about the hookup ratio is probably even higher than what I have on the frogs as far as the swim jig go. Give him time to suck that bait down, pop that fish before he realizes there's tension there, and he's able to spit that bait, guys. This has definitely been the rod for me. So wanted to throw that little tidbit in there. All right, let's get into one more rod. I had to save my baby for last, guys. That's right. We're talking about the Carolina rig, guys. Carolina rig setup I've got on a 7.6 Duckett Timmy Horton Pro Series, guys. That special edition from Timmy Horton, guys. And let me just tell you, not only is this rod super light to be a longer heavy rod, when it is time to throw a Carolina rig, it is like a dream. It's like you don't even feel the fact that you have a 3/4 ounce weight on there, guys. Full ounce weight, you don't feel it at all. I mean, this has been an amazing rod so far. I'm yet to land one on this rod since I've had it. I've also got it paired with a Pro TI on this one as well, guys. I want to make sure whatever fish I have, that I'm able to winch that fish up out of some tough conditions that are down there, where there may be some type of shell, rock, whatever it is. This has definitely been the rod to do it for me. So you guys check out Duckett Fishing. This is the 7.6 Heavy Edition for your Carolina rigs. And once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Big Coffee's Outdoors Magazine here on YouTube. I hope this video helps. Hopefully I have provided enough clips for you guys so you can see exactly how Big Coffee is going about using some of these applications and these rods to give you some great success on the water this season. Got a lot of fishing to do. Hopefully God will allow us all the strength and the health that we need to continue along this journey and find what we need outdoors to cure our everyday needs. Love you guys with all of my heart. Big Coffee's Outdoors Magazine. Oh yeah, let's go.